wandering is a terrible sin. Except we're not really wandering, we're questioning, so does that really count? Hey guys, it's Alyssa. I really love Bendy and the Ink Machine, so much that I decided to make a theory video about it. Ever since Chapter 3 came out, I have been speculating so many different theories behind the lore of this game, to the point where I've actually gone onto the Reddit and started posting things. So this video is going to be me sharing one of the theories that I sort of came up with. And of course I had to make this video because I tweeted TheMeatly, my good internet buddy, who is also the creator of Bendy and the Ink Machine, saying that I would make a theory video and he would watch it. When the creator of the game wants to watch a theory video, you gotta make one. So let's just stop talking with the intro and just cut right to the theory. So let's just do this. I'm so excited. Okay. My theory is, who exactly is Henry and what is his purpose? We know Henry is us, and we know he worked at Joey Drew Studios. I mean, look at the little desk he points out. Joey, you couldn't spare him a nicer setup? Maybe at least a comfier chair? Anyways, this theory is broken up into many parts to look at. Number 1. What was Henry's role at the studios? We know that he was an animator, or maybe a storyboard/concept artist, but could his part in the studio been something even bigger? In Chapter 3, oh, by the way, spoilers for Chapter 3. If you haven't watched any Let's Plays or played the chapter, now is the time to leave. You good? Okay. In Chapter 3, you can find a secret recording of Henry himself. He sounds a bit younger, at least I think so, and it starts off with how it's been 2 weeks since he started working. Actually, let's look a little bit closer. Henry says how he agreed to start this whole thing with Joey. What does this mean? Was Henry actually the co-founder of Joey Drew Studios? Possibly. Point number 2. When did Henry quit or leave the studios? In Chapter 1, the opening letter from Joey says it's been 30 years since they last saw each other, or at least since Henry left. Since the game is focused on 1930s cartoons, it has to be around the 1960s by now. In Chapter 2, Henry first proclaims when he gets into the first part of the chapter, before you find Sammy's first tape.
How did this place get so big?
He never knew about these expansions, including most of the environment in Chapter 3. Now, all of this doesn't give us an answer, but my theory is that Henry left before Alice Angel was created. All of the expansions of the studio with Alice is new to him, and when Alice says, to me, this line sounds more like, we have never met before, but I know who you are. Henry could have left before Susie Campbell was hired as Alice. Perhaps the Bendy cartoons weren't doing too well after Henry left, and Joey had to add a new character. Maybe even one that can outshine Bendy. Susie says in Chapter 2 it was only her second month working for Joey when Alice started getting popular. But the little flaw to this is that Henry reacts to new stuff. He says some sort of dialogue when something is out of place, or something he's never seen before comes along. When we first see the Alice Angel poster, he doesn't react. This could be because after he left, he still watched the cartoons or kept up with the news of the show and knows who Alice is. This could also be because it would be annoying for Henry to react to everything as the player. But I would think that whenever Henry says something, it might be important. Point number 3. What cartoon did Henry create? In Henry's hidden tape, he states he made a new cartoon that people will love. Which character is he talking about? It could be Bendy himself. To me, this makes the most sense since Joey Drew sounds more like the brains and power behind the business side of the studio, and Henry is the creative side, being an animator. Henry could have created Bendy, and Joey just ran with it. This also explains a little bit of why Alice Angel came into the spotlight if Henry left before she was created. Joey couldn't keep up with Bendy since Henry made him, so he had to make a fresh new character from his own ideas. He could also be talking about Boris, since Boris loves and cares for Henry, and Henry has the strongest relationship with the character. When Henry first sees the dead Boris in Chapter 1, he's in shock and disgust that Joey would do this. He literally spends multiple days playing cards with him in the safe house as well. You could say he created Alice Angel, but unless my theory before is totally wrong, then probably not. Now, if Henry did create the characters, and then left the studio leaving Joey in command of them, perhaps the phrase, "the creator lied to us," is about Henry, not Joey. That's why Bendy wants to kill him, Boris wants to help him change everything, and Alice knows of him and believes he has a greater purpose here. Fourth point, why did Henry leave? It could be because Joey was taking all of Henry's ideas, time, and even the fun of the job, and wasn't giving anything back to him in return as a co-founder. If you listen to one part of Henry's recording, you can hear how agitated Henry is by Joey doing this.
When I agreed to start this whole thing with him, I thought there'd be a little more give and take. Instead, I give, and he takes. I haven't even seen Linda for days now.
Also, the Meatly has stated that the game isn't a copy of anything IRL, like classic Disney or Fleischer Studios, but is influenced by them. If we want to talk about Disney, we can mention Charles Mintz. Mintz was a film producer who worked for Disney. He first designed Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which was the main character of Disney's animations. Walt Disney wanted to increase the work budget to make more of Oswald, but Mintz said Universal owned the rights to the character, and so it wasn't going to happen. Disney left his entire staff and had to rebuild the studios, making sure he and the company owned everything. So, he created Mickey Mouse, which ended up outshining Oswald, Charles Mintz's original character, completely. So, Henry made the characters, maybe created Bendy, but Joey wanted too much from him. So, Henry either quit or was fired, and Joey created Alice, thinking she would be bigger than Bendy, but it obviously failed. This part of the theory sounds pretty spot on, but my only concern is, why would Henry return to the studios 30 years later if he hated Joey so much? Joey literally signs the letter Henry receives with, "Your best pal, Joey Drew." Why would he say that if they were on bad terms? Another card we can throw into this hand of a theory is the history card. Since the studios were probably found in the late 1930s, this is around the time World War II began. Could Henry have gone off to war? Maybe he wanted to stop animating, or had to stop animating, to protect his country. A lot of the posters promoting the Bendy's cartoons have "buy bonds" written on them. This was a way for the government to advertise for people to buy war bonds to help pay for the war. There's some evidence in the current status of the game that goes into Henry going to war. First, there's the Tommy gun. He knows how to use it, and use it well. Plus, Henry isn't fazed by a lot of the horrors he encounters, and how his old coworkers are now monsters. Perhaps this was from training of the military and the surreal horror of war. Also, Henry may be around 50 years old, because he could have started working at the studios at the age of 20, and then 30 years later. To be required to be drafted into World War II, you had to be at least at the age of 21. Maybe Henry was drafted a few years later after he started his new career. Again, this part is just speculation. Now the final part. You ready? What is Henry's bigger purpose? Henry was brought to the studio because Joey had something to show him. Even when Henry walks in, he says,
"Alright, Joey, I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see."
Was it the ink machine? I don't think so. Let's look at Henry's reaction when we see the ink machine for the first time.
So this is the ink machine, huh? Wonder how you turn it on.
Why does Henry know what the ink machine is, even though Joey never spoke of it in the letter? Maybe while Henry was still working at the studio, Joey used the ink machine, but he never explained what it was for or how to really use it. What made Henry want to turn it on? I have no idea. But anyways, why is Henry here? Some people think the letter was not written by Joey at all. Someone wanted Henry to come to the studios. Why is Bendy trying to kill him? This goes into the Joey is Bendy theory, which is a totally separate video to talk about. Why does Alice Angel want to stop Henry? Why does she say, who's really the bad guy here? Bendy or Alice? Well, again, another separate video I could do. I don't know Henry's purpose. Is he here to stop Bendy? Stop Alice? Stop all of these souls from being tortured? Maybe. After explaining all of this, I have no real answer yet. What I personally think is that Henry was the co-founder of Joey Drew Studios, created Bendy and most of the ideas behind the cartoons. Then, Joey worked him too hard with no benefits, so he quit, but still kept up with some news of the studios. Joey created Alice to beat out Henry's ideas, but they failed. Then, everything spiraled out of control. Woo! That was a long video, and it took a while to make. You're awesome, I'm awesome, and thank you for watching this video. And if you really like these types of videos, theories, want me to do more Bendy and Ink Machine stuff, because I have other ideas, leave a like, and maybe I'll do one in the future. Thank you to the Meatly and the whole MeatlyGames team for making this amazing game, and I'm so excited for Chapter 4, which is probably gonna be a while away, but, you know, still excited for more Bendy to come. And the Meatly, if you are watching this, thanks for checking it out. And if you need another girl to VO something in the game, I might be the person to do that. But it's okay if you say no, it's totally fine. We should collab sometime. If you want to follow me on all my social media links, just go to the description box below. It's really all right there. So because this is the end screen right now, because I'm so lazy to make anything after the outro, if you click my face, you can subscribe to let you know when new videos come out, whenever they are, whenever I really want to make them, because it's my channel and I can do what I want. Or you can go to the last video and watch that one, because that's cool too. And I'll see you guys around, okay? Keep theorizing. Yeah.